Hey everyone, I'm Anna Morgan, your career BFF and host of the first ever Evolve Talent Acquisition and HR Experience here in Atlanta, Georgia, Thursday the 30th. And it happens to be my 30th birthday, or not 30th birthday. Good Lord, I wish I was turning 30 on my 50th birthday. And anyway, one of the ways I'm celebrating this milestone is hosting this event to love on talent acquisition and HR leaders to really focus on well-being, branding, and innovation in the world of work. And every single speaker that I have joining me on this stage has been a special person in my life at some point along my career BFF journey. And one of those very special ladies is my friend Carrie Corcoran of employer branding. Carrie Cares employer branding. Sorry, brain not totally processing. Carrie Cares Employer Branding is also a gracious sponsor and partner of the event. And she is going to be collaborating with Nicole Coffey on a special employer branding segment. So I can't wait to welcome her to the stage and to Atlanta in a short 8 days. Welcome.
Okay, Anna, you have got to show me how you did that video intro and the music. This
Well,
is so
I am getting very good at outsourcing, and I am very lucky to have a great virtual assistant that is super savvy with intros and outros and all things graphics. So, hi, Phil Davis. Everyone, if you're joining us, please let us know where you're tuning in from. We certainly want to say hello to you and welcome you to the show. So, um, Carrie, why don't you just do a quick little introduction of yourself? I know you're joining us from chilly Tulsa, Oklahoma. Is that right? The polar vortex is all over the
it,
United States right
it is
now.
a little bit chilly here. It was 23 when I got up this morning and took my lovely dog out for a walk.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Anna, for putting on this Evolve event and for allowing me to be part of it. I mean, I'm honored to be able to participate and to support you and your journey. And I know when we first met, you had mentioned that you wanted to do an event, and I encouraged you to pursue that. And here we are. I mean, it's just so
Yeah.
exciting that this is not even, well, I guess it's about a week away.
Yeah. 8 days. I woke up thinking it was Thursday and I was like, oh, and for some reason, I felt like 8 days made me feel a little bit more like I've got this, but
I thought it was Thursday today too. Okay, I know I got off topic, so I'll introduce myself.
well, you're not alone. I had another friend that reached out last night who left me a video message. She was like, "Happy birthday! I hope your event's going well." She was a complete week off, which is really funny. Um, so we have both been on quite a journey, personally and professionally. I would say in the last 15 months, and I have to tell you, following you and being connected with you on LinkedIn for quite some time, I will say that you have been someone that, I looked up to and have learned from in the recruitment marketing employer branding space. And, when we ended up, I guess, reconnecting more in the comments around a French bulldog comment, which led to a coffee chat. And I think it went on way past the time limit. And we were just talking about our mutual passion for these little squishy faced potatoes that provide, such belly laughs and entertainment that we ended up becoming really kindred spirits and good friends and conference buddies, which ended up being so much fun when you and I have traveled and shared a room and reverted back to our high school college days of staying up and sharing breakfast in bed with Lily or Also just, making sure that we're taking care of each other on when we travel to these events. So that's been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been so much fun getting to know you and to share space with you. And I feel the same way too, that we're kindred spirits on so many different levels. Even, in addition to our love for these crazy French bulldogs. And
Yeah.
just to back up, I will introduce myself now
Oh yeah,
and
sorry.
and
Carrie.
say a little bit about what I do and how I do it.
Yeah.
Yes, and so it's actually my last name is pronounced Corcoran. It's not
Say it again.
Cochran.
I'm sorry. I just like the word. Just kidding.
It's Corcoran. No, like it's
Corcoran.
okay because I didn't realize it until 19 and a half years into my marriage when my husband at the time, now ex, pointed that out that he had been pronouncing it wrong the entire time we were married. So I
Oh
even
God.
catch myself saying Cochrane still, but
Ah,
apparently
okay.
it's Corcoran. So,
Corcoran.
okay,
Corcoran. Corcoran. Got it.
Corcoran. So, now that we have that straight.
Yeah.
So I have been in the employer brand and recruitment marketing space for a little bit over 10 years. And for those of us who have been doing this for what seems like forever, I guess we're really considered the veterans in the industry. And I got my start with a contact center solutions company. Shout out to Working Solutions and my former boss, Gail Rigler. Love her. Learned so much. And really learned about recruitment marketing and using social media for recruitment marketing. We didn't even call it recruitment marketing back then or employer branding. It was just, we need to figure out how to attract talent. And
Right.
so I was hired for to support the business to business side of marketing for the
Okay.
company. That was half of my job, and then the other half was the recruitment marketing and employer brand side of it.
Right.
And I found myself being more drawn to the human side of HR and the marketing aspects of marketing HR, and I fell in love with it. And um, found myself like reinventing their candidate experience and so many other things and really cool projects that I was involved in and growing their communities and Glassdoor and things like that. After Working Solutions, I went to Hilton and I led their global Glassdoor program. And one of my proudest achievements was being able to help them land on the highest rated CEO list, as well as Glassdoor's best places to work. And those were
Wow.
both firsts for Hilton. So
That's
that was because I built such a solid strategy. And of course, I had many partners across the company to help me
hmm
execute that. But that is one of my big achievements that I'm very proud of. And then I worked
Yeah.
for a bank, and I never thought I would work for a bank. And my mom actually worked for a bank for 13 years. And so it's interesting how like certain things come full circle or we have those commonalities. And she was in marketing for a bank. And so I was on the HR side of marketing for a bank, and I was VP of talent attraction and built their talent attraction strategy from the ground up and really piloted some incredible programs and did so many unique things there to help improve their employer brand as well as their recruitment marketing and talent attraction efforts. Even though I wasn't hired to specifically do employer branding, I was hired
Right.
for top of funnel only. And then I've also been a consultant. I've worked with some people in the industry that well known in the industry that we have in common, and have worked on great enterprise projects as well as small to medium sized companies and helping
Yeah.
them build up their candidate experience, recruiting operations excellence, or employer brand strategy, employee advocacy. I've done it all from A to Z, except
A to
for,
Z.
yeah.
No, I love that. And you're actively open to, new opportunities, either full time or on the fractional consulting side. So if you're an organization that is, finalizing your budget and looking at how you can leverage employer branding expertise and recruitment marketing, Carrie is a fantastic resource. And I've seen her on stages. I have participated and been a part of workshops that she has conducted, and always leave, with more tools in my tool belt and inspiration to continue, having these conversations so that, top decision makers really can see the immense value in embracing employer branding. Like you said early on, we're more the veterans that were, taking action on social media and coming up with kind of grassroots, kind of scrappy ways to, attract talent, which then ended up becoming these new created positions, as we know now, recruitment marketing and employer branding. So I'm super
I
excited.
think one of the unique aspects, like one of the things that I bring to a company, is that I've been a team of one before, where
Mm-hmm.
there hasn't been other resources necessarily. It's not a team, it's a team of one. And I've
Mm-hmm.
built programs from the ground up, and I'm a
Mm-hmm.
builder. I love to create, I love to
Oh.
innovate. I enjoy launching programs and seeing those light bulb moments go off when I educate leaders across a company on the importance of employer brand and what that can do to attract talent. And you have
Mm-hmm.
to have a solid strategy behind it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't believe you necessarily have to have an Eve. I just lost an earring. I
uh,
don't.
by the way, while we're talking about earrings, I found these on Etsy, and I have been obsessed with them. The phases of the moon, to showcase the evolution of all things that we do in this place of work. Do you want to put yours back in?
Oh no, that's okay.
All right, I like it. Um, no, I love that. One being just like so in flow, and being able to utilize, your creativity to maximize your impact, right? But then also being able to step into an environment that has, established teams, and knowing how to navigate those waters, and also um, build strong relationships with your stakeholders and get their buy-in, and also, you're educating them too on the power and why this is important. I used to have so many hiring managers that just didn't quite connect the dots of, you know you are hiring this person, but in service of attracting the best talent, a way that you can be a part of this process is to, make sure your profile is up to date. And so when candidates are looking at you, uh, they can understand a little bit more about your leadership philosophies. What it is like to be on your team, a day in the life. And then, how do you repurpose content to amplify that message in a lot of different places. So I love that, we're seeing more of this in this space for sure.
And I don't think you necessarily have to have an EVP. I mean, I'll give a shout out
Mm-hmm.
to James Ellis and talking about being specific, attractive, different, and real.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, just talk about your employees and what you
Mm-hmm.
do and make them the stars. Put them front and
Mm-hmm.
center. Put your hiring managers front and center. You don't
Yeah.
have to have a gigantic budget
Mm-hmm.
to do employer brand well. And
Mm-hmm.
the companies that realize this are the ones that are seeing the most success in attracting the right
Mm-hmm.
talent. You want to repel the right, no, you want to attract the right talent
And repel the others. And,
and,
many of
and
us do that.
repel the wrong talent.
Right. And that goes for our personal brand too. I tell people, people are either all Anna Morgan career BFF or they're like, whoa, there's a little much over there. Um, so, and I think it's also being able to being willing to color outside of the lines a little bit. Like I've been hearing a lot lately that kind of one of my strengths is the kind of get her done kind of gal energy of taking kind of fast, messy, imperfect action and then failure for me is the greatest teacher, right? And then calibrating as needed. So, one of the things I did early on with a big box retailer is, on the day that we welcomed the new hires into the office, I would obviously go in and, shake their hands, make sure they had everything they need. And then say, hey, can we just record like a quick, selfie video about who you are, what position you're going to be taking, and what you're most excited about. I mean, kind of 30 seconds, nothing highly produced or anything like that. And it worked out well, really, really well. And, one, it made the candidates feel really special to be like shouted out in that way. And then, it had that ripple effect of people were noticing and what a cool idea. And that's so simple, but what a nice touch, So that's for me, an example that I was able to implement, just from the IC recruiter standpoint.
Yeah, and that's great because you can reduce, reuse, and recycle that content.
Mm-hmm.
You can take that one piece of video content and share
Mm-hmm.
that on social media. You can look at what either put that in like a transcription
Mm-hmm.
service, take that copy, create multiple social media posts for it, snip up
Yeah.
the video, and showcase those brand new employees and put them in the spotlight. So I'm a firm believer that like look at what content already exists and then
Mm-hmm.
create new content. But if you're going to create one piece of content, use it in 10 different ways.
Yeah. That's such a good reminder. It's something I feel like I could do a better job at just personally around my career BFF brand and everything I'm doing here. I have to sometimes pause and be like, okay, wait a minute. How can I reuse this piece of content in multiple different ways? Like even this recorded live, we will be able to, grab little segments from it and repurpose it in a variety of different ways, which I think is awesome. So, you were doing a collaboration with Nicole Coffey, who shares a mutual passion for this work. From meh to memorable, from an employer branding standpoint. So, going to be giving our attendees some, updated strategies that they can take back and start implementing right away. Correct?
That is correct. And we are still in the process of massaging the content and to put all of that together to bring the best experience to all of your attendees.
Yeah, thank you. Well, doing things like I said, fast, messy action. I was reflecting on this journey, and I know that I had mentioned to you, when we had our coffee chat, several months ago, that I wanted to plan an event, and then all of a sudden, November 1st, I was like, I'm going to do this, try to launch this in, 8 to 12 weeks or something crazy. But if it wasn't for you, opening some doors, a shout out to Craig Fisher and the Talent Net Media group that you've done some work with as well. That you said, hey, give Anna a shot, and that just means the world to me, because so many times in this environment, specifically in conference world, in the TA space, you just need somebody to give you that first shot on a stage. And then so many different doors open. And, I wouldn't be here today taking this bold action to create a new stage if, I hadn't had an opportunity to get to know you, and you graciously, opening doors and introducing me to great people. So I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Craig has a tendency to open a lot of doors for people, and I am forever grateful for him for doing the same for me.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
And I think that's what it's all about. And I've mentioned this a couple times on the lives that, you know, for me, one of the leadership philosophies, and I think people notice through my audio events and different things that I do, is that, there is so much business to go around. And, if we embrace that energy of collaboration over competition, we're going to be so much better for it. And while I have more experienced people like yourself and Nicole on the stages, I've brought in people like Rob Gilbert and Tammy Chow and Kathy Love that have never been to a talent acquisition or HR event. And that was really just to kind of mix things up, because I feel like innovation and creativity and, the ability to kind of reignite our passion for what we do can come from a variety of different ways. And so I'm really excited to see how this all comes together.
So am I. I think
you
it's
know,
going to be
I, I'm
great.
starting to have these dreams where it's like we run out of water. Like I didn't buy enough bottles of water, or something happens with the food, or none of the timing goes off right. And I think that's my brain or body trying to process, like, okay, what how do I handle things if they go awry, which inevitably they are. Right.
Well, and from having been in the trade show and event industry for over 20 years prior to tapping into employer brand and recruitment marketing,
Right.
it's the philosophy is whatever will go wrong probably will. It's Murphy's Law.
Right.
And then you just roll with the punches and you pivot.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you are the only one who knows that something isn't right.
Right.
No one else does. So while you might notice it, everybody else is going to be oblivious to it. So
Yeah.
my suggestion to you is to just pivot, roll with it, and
Yeah.
you'll do great.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited. Where Brian Adams and I were talking the other day from Happy Dance, one of the other sponsors, and he said one of the ways he got over his fear of public speaking was he took a comedy course, which I found really
Mm.
fascinating. And I said, I'm going to have one of those like Britney Spears mics, because anytime I hold a microphone, I'm like, eh. And then it's just a weird like physical reaction or something. So I'm making sure that I've got the cool.
Well, I think you can always just like dance it off.
Yes, there is going to be a DJ there, and that was another mutual passion that we both share, is we love to dance. And I'm excited that we'll get to dance a little on stage. I'm certainly going to be probably dancing a little bit at the happy hour after the event. And one of the things that I have appreciated about the space that we're going to be in at InfoMart is that at other conferences, sometimes it's just the logistics. Like, Vegas is a whole different story, but, how do we get from, the end of the event to a happy hour or dinner or whatever? And so I was very intentional about trying to get everything that was close by. And, at the end of the last keynote by Rob, asked everyone to go out in the hallway and kind of mingle with the sponsors and catch up on your texts and emails, and then kind of reshuffle the room a little bit to kind of open it up some, and then just really enjoy continuing to network, right? Since we have a pretty packed schedule, I feel like this is the time where folks can follow up with additional questions and rub elbows with the speakers and sponsors, and really get a fantastic, fun experience from this. So,
Yeah, it's going to be great for networking, collaboration, learning. I really enjoy when networking turns into friendships. Like you and I met
Yeah.
through networking, and now we're good friends. And I've
Mhm.
experienced that with many other people in the industry too. And just
Yeah.
deepening those connections is worth it's 100% worth it for me.
Yeah, and then, you know, my other intention and like, challenge for the speakers is like, I am okay having a couple panels and individual speakers, but I really want to have more like workshop, mastermind, thinking out loud together, because where I've learned the most is those conversations that happen in between the sessions and
Mhm.
the hallways, or at the, pre-event breakfast, or happy hours and things like that. So, really trying to pull all those levers and make sure, you know, I'm creating an environment where those conversations can convert to friendships, to potential collaborations, and even employment opportunities. So, um, that was really, my intention behind how I've set up the space and the agenda, and, everyone that has so graciously honored to be, offered to be a part of this. So it's gonna
I'm
be,
excited for it.
yeah, me too. So, we're getting close to capacity. I really want to get more local folks, in the room with us. So if you are in the Atlanta area or within a driving distance to Atlanta, hopefully the cold weather will be gone by next week. And, you know, I understand people are busy right now. Like, I have gotten so many messages like January has hit hard. And I totally understand that. But if you're listening to this, catching the replay, or, hear this, pass it along to somebody else. Like, the importance of taking a day for yourself, a career development day for you, will really just empower you so much more to be able to serve effectively, instead of just being like, I'm not going to do it. I got to focus on this, um, because we just can't pour from an empty cup, and I get it. I've worked tons of recs and been busy. But if I was given an opportunity, to add more tools to my tool belt, I'd be like, I'm in. Gonna take a day and see what happens.
100%.
You know, um, I know personally, like, I just didn't have a lot of career development opportunities outside of, hey, it's the bullpen time. Let's role play how to handle, objections for, no, I don't need your staffing services, Mrs. Morgan. So I think that's another part of the passion and heart behind this as well, in service of elevating this community and all levels of this community, not just, VPs, executives, senior managers, but thinking about those that are coming up behind us and how we can continue to educate, support, and, lift them up as they, step into doing bigger work in the world of hiring, essentially.
Well, and I love that you're also looking at this from a wellness perspective and really taking into consideration feeding your body, mind, and spirit. And this
Hmm.
is a great way for people to do that who are
Hmm.
in the talent acquisition space,
Yeah.
and to even learn a little bit more about that side of it and how
Yeah.
to manage stress, or how to decompress, or different things to focus on. Like, I'm super excited that Jess is going to be there.
Yeah.
And
You're gonna love Tammy too. And the session that we have is very vulnerable for me, y'all. Like, I'm just saying, super vulnerable. But I've worked very hard on managing my energy and really my own, embodiment around leadership, and stepping into that power fully. And I'm the well-being piece is obviously very important to me, having, come up in this space, alcohol free, and working with a lot of job seekers as well, hearing their challenges and struggles. You know Community and in-person networking right now has been such a solution for people that have been in extended job search, or are suffering from loneliness. Loneliness is like a major mental health issue right now. And, I just encourage folks to make sure that they're taking the time to invest in themselves, because, if you don't have that foundation, then you're putting yourself at risk in so many other ways, not only professionally, but personally as well.
I agree. And I think most people do crave connection.
Hmm.
And so to be able to have community like this that supports that,
Hmm.
you
Is
know,
important.
there may be some tears shed, you never know.
Oh,
could be
well,
like
I mean,
could be like therapy.
let me just tell you, like, I mean, you guys could probably make a game out of it, but I will probably, not be wearing mascara that day, because I'm just so overwhelmed with the support and just community that has surrounded me and lifted up this event in a short amount of time, and also being in full acceptance that I am going to be 50, which just sounds like a number I don't necessarily recognize, because
But you look 40.
thank
You're
you. Thank
gorgeous
you.
and you're so youthful. So
Thank you.
it's
Thank
age
you.
is just a number.
You're right. You're right. So it's going to be a great time. I can't wait to welcome everyone to Atlanta. Join the party, join the Evolve experience. You're going to get to meet awesome people like Carrie, a fellow French bulldog lover. Definitely reach out to any of your dog lovers that are in the TA and HR space, and let them know this is a dog friendly event, as Lily will be making an appearance at some point for photo opportunities and emotional support, right? So we have
Absolutely.
to get your new little boy Benny together with her at some point. I need to
I know we do.
fly.
I don't want to fly him to Atlanta.
I don't think he's quite ready. If once we set up that meeting, I'll fly with Lily, since I don't have to put her in a crate anymore. So she's getting pretty savvy on the travel circuit. She knows that it's time to go to work. So,
Exactly.
all right. Well, more to come. I can't wait to have you finish up your agenda and material for the event. And can't wait to see you step on stage with your walk on song and awesome sparkles and energy, and give back to this community. So thank you so much for being a part of Evolve, and we'll see you very soon.
That sounds great, Anna. I
All
appreciate
right.
you.
All right.
See
Have a great
everybody
day,
soon.
everybody.
Bye.
Sounds good. Bye. Hold on, please.